Okay, so today I'm doing a lesson on one-point perspective. So first thing you need is a ruler. You're going to need a pencil, nice and sharp, and you're going to need a rubber. Now what we're going to do here is create a one-point perspective to give the idea of things going into a distance. So I'm going to start with a horizon line. Okay, making sure that everything here is really nice and horizontal. You can see I'm doing this quite lightly because I want to, I'll make it a little bit darker though so you can see it. Okay, now for one point perspective we need to create a point on this horizon. I'm going to start here. Now one point perspective is quite easy. We're just going to follow some basic rules in that we're going to follow three lines of perspective: a horizontal line, a vertical line, and a line of depth that will always come back to this point. So just to start simply, if I was going to create the idea of say a road or something, a pathway leading into the distance, we know that when things are close they appear bigger, and when things go further away they get smaller. I'm going to create that by creating a little pathway back to my one point like this. Now we know that in reality, two-dimensionally, that this is just three lines put together. But if we use our imagination, we can imagine that this is possibly like some sort of a road going into the distance. Now, what about if I wanted to use some sort of a shape? Okay, let's create like a box. Okay, I'm going to put some sort of a cube here. And I want to give the effect that this is a shape going into the distance. Now, once again, I'm keeping my horizontal and vertical lines. That creates a rectangle. But to give this depth of it going into the distance, I'm going to take this back to my vanishing point, like this. Coming from my corners. Okay, I've now created the illusion of some sort of a large rectangular shape that continues on and on and on into the distance. Okay. Let's do one, imagine one that doesn't go so far. Let's try another shape over here. Let's imagine this going into the distance, but not as far. It's going to have an end point, but I'm just going to lightly draw out my draft lines. Now I'm going to imagine this one doesn't go as far. So here's a little rule. I have a vertical line, so depending on how far I want this to go, I'm going to keep that vertical line. I'm also going to keep a horizontal line. And now I have like a cuboid shape that goes into the distance, but is correctly in perspective as far as depth is concerned. Okay, what about an object that's up in the air? Let's try that. Let's put a cube in the air. Okay, again, I'm going to follow the same rule. I want it to come back to this point of perspective. So coming from all these corners, I now have a shape that appears to be in the sky leading back into the distance. But imagine I didn't want it to go that far. I'm going to follow my horizon line, maybe down here. Let's get our vertical line. Okay, and I now have a shape that's shooting back into the distance. What about a shape that's behind a shape? Let's try that. Imagine I have a square that's over here. Okay, it's going to come behind this, but again, coming from this point, but this time I won't go so far because it's going to sort of crash into that shape. So let's go behind here. Now I have a shape behind that shape. I could even have like a row of shapes if I wanted to. Let's try that. In fact, I can do this one backwards. I'm going to come from this point and just put some guidelines in. Create some shapes. Again, coming back to this point always. put some more shapes in. Okay, we've got more shapes. What we can do now is, we don't need some of these lines, we can take them away. Okay, and let's just have a bit more fun and just add some more in. There you go, there's a quick demonstration on how to make, I guess, cuboidal shapes appear as though they're going into the distance to a vanishing point, and all these shapes are correctly in proportion to 1 point perspective.